Have you ever noticed how often you betray yourself? Not in grand, obvious ways, not in a dramatic collapse or a moral scandal, but in small, quiet moments. When you say yes when you meant no. When you silence your opinion because you're afraid of being judged. When you look in the mirror and feel the weight of someone you no longer recognize. You see, most of us aren't destroyed by others. We're destroyed by the thousands of little betrayals we commit against ourselves. And maybe that's why you're here, because some part of you feels it, that gnawing, invisible tension between the life you live and the life you know you were meant for. The German theologian Dietrich Bonhoeffer once said, "The ultimate test of a moral society is the kind of future it leaves to its children." But what about the future you're leaving to yourself? What legacy are you building in your own soul? We think betrayal is what others do to us, but often the deepest betrayals are internal. They happen when you trade your truth for comfort, when you disguise your fear as politeness, when you swallow your anger and call it peace. Plato described this as living in a cave, mistaking the shadows for reality, convincing yourself that what is false is true, because it's easier than facing the painful light. And isn't that what we do every day? We chain ourselves to jobs, relationships, and routines that numb us, because at least the numbness feels familiar. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Every time you betray yourself in these small ways, you reinforce the bars of your own prison. Carl Jung believed that our shadow, the hidden, rejected parts of our psyche, never truly disappears. We may suppress it, but it waits, quietly, patiently, and eventually it surfaces. Sometimes as rage, sometimes as depression, sometimes as a subtle, suffocating sense that life has lost its meaning. You felt it, haven't you? That silent scream when you're surrounded by people and still feel invisible. The restless nights where your body is tired but your soul won't let you sleep. This is your shadow speaking. It whispers, "Stop lying to yourself. Stop hiding. Stop betraying me." But we ignore it. We scroll, we drink, we distract, hoping that the shadow will fade. It never does. Because the part of you you're running from is also the part that can save you. Think of Machiavelli, often misunderstood as a ruthless manipulator. In truth, he saw the world not as it should be, but as it really was. His honesty about human nature was uncomfortable, even offensive, which is why people called him dangerous. But was he truly dangerous, or was he simply refusing to betray reality? Now imagine the danger of betraying yourself in the same way. When you deny your own ambition, your anger, your longing for freedom, you are Machiavelli's prince turned inward, a ruler who deceives his own kingdom until it collapses from within. Most of us think our greatest enemy is failure, rejection, or pain. But Nietzsche argued otherwise. He warned against what he called the last man, a creature who seeks only comfort, who avoids struggle at all costs. This is the life many of us are living. Safe, predictable, numb. We say we want freedom, but secretly we want sedation. And so we betray ourselves in exchange for a life that doesn't hurt too much, but also never truly awakens us. Here's the paradox. The things you fear most, failure, loss, rejection, are often the very things that reveal who you are. But the things you cling to, comfort, routine, approval, are the things that slowly erase you. Think of a ship. A ship is safe in the harbor, but that is not what ships are built for. They're built for storms, for voyages, for the horizon. You are that ship, and yet you've convinced yourself that the harbor is enough. The harbor whispers, "Stay here, you'll be safe." But safety is the most dangerous illusion of all, because while you wait in the harbor, the wood rots, the sails weaken, and your spirit withers. One day you will look around and realize that the very safety you clung to was the slowest form of destruction. So ask you, how much longer will you keep betraying yourself? How many more days will you trade away for the comfort of the cave, the numbness of the harbor? The truth is, life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't pause until you've built enough courage. It moves with or without you. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to reclaim what you've lost. But here's the light in all this darkness. Self-betrayal is not the end. It's a signal. A wound that tells you healing is needed, a shadow that points to where your power hides. Jung would say, what you most need will be found where you least want to look. Your freedom is buried inside the very parts of yourself you've rejected. So tonight, when the noise quiets and you're alone with yourself, listen. Really listen. What is the voice beneath your distractions saying? It might say something terrifying. It might demand that you change jobs, end a relationship, leave behind the safety you've built. But it will always tell the truth. The question is, will you finally have the courage to stop betraying yourself and to answer it? Because maybe life doesn't truly begin when everything falls into place. Maybe it begins the moment you decide to stop living a lie.